Y'all ready for this? New York Knicks
Four,
are
three,
in the Eastern
two.
Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. Repeat that again. 25 years. Half the way to a championship. And that's saying a whole lot comparing to what we had to do just to get to this point. This is just the halfway mark. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. Oh my goodness. And in all honesty, none of us thought they would be here against this team.
Yep.
Yep.
Me at the
True.
forefront. Me at the forefront. According to the last recording that we had, I was like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. No confidence that this team would do it. So after the first game, after the second game, still in a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In all honesty, I'm still in shock. And no, this is not the drink talking.
Woo. I know.
Man.
That drink is lemon ginger, not nothing else.
Ah.
Tea, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor, I agree. After that second game, I said, no, is this possible?
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible?
Something
In
special was
in
happening.
Boston?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. And it just, I mean, because even in the game one, when they didn't, I guess the feeling that I got was they didn't think they could do it,
Mm.
even in Brunson's last shot when he missed the game winning shot in the regulation.
Yeah,
You
that,
know.
that
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that
They went to overtime. They were like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I was crushed when he missed that shot. I was
yeah, me
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
too. Right
man.
I
under
was
there.
like, oh, they let go of the rope. I was like, no. But then Bridges,
Roll through.
Snatch that ball.
boom, 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 Bridges. I'm like,
He
what?
Bridges
he
came
worked for that
alive.
check. He worked
Hmm.
for that check.
I was like, forget them picks.
Yes.
Hmm.
Playoffs.
Hmm.
Man.
Well, you got me.
We don't need them picks now.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. That just was I couldn't believe it. I'm just in shock that
Mm.
this team did that. And I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock.
You
It's
know the
nothing that
one
I can say.
the
Hmm.
one thing about it, I give them credit because
Hmm.
you can't make excuses now because last
Hmm.
year they were injured.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This year they were playing basically full strength.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They should have
And
been
the
able.
same people. They only play that 7-man rotation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
7-man rotation. I'm like, who does that?
Yeah.
But Chua got about maybe 10 minutes through the whole series.
But
Hmm.
yeah, because he didn't play in the first one.
Hmm.
They need to
Yeah.
use him more. And
So
Payne.
just looking at the stats, all the starters played over 200 minutes.
Mm.
Bridges and Mitch played over 100 minutes, and nobody else played beyond 30 minutes in the whole series.
Crazy.
Nobody.
Mm.
Precious had 24, as you said, Jimmy, and 30 minutes went to Payne. That was it. He only played a 7-man rotation. I'm like,
Wow.
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 And I guess, as I was thinking about that philosophy, I was like, so there's no point in time where there's a weak point
Mm.
that there's somebody that the offense can attack from a defensive standpoint. That's what I'm like. It has to be that has to be the logic in that
Mhm.
because like when other teams swap out from the starters, there's a letdown. You don't get a letdown from this team.
Well,
Oof.
I couldn't believe it.
Had to make some apologies to Mitchell Robinson.
Who?
yeah, I know.
I
Me
have to
too.
make a
Oh,
couple of
you.
apologies.
I'll
Me
do.
too.
You speak clear next time, okay?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. It was hard. It
when you
was
make the
hard to
apology,
come out. It was
open up your
hard.
mouth and enunciate.
It
Oh,
was very hard
oh, oh,
to come out.
oh.
BE book,
Mr.
right?
Robinson, I apologize.
Uh,
For his free
I
throws.
apologize.
Hey,
I
14 to
apologize.
31.
Man,
That was what? Is that his free throws?
Yeah,
What's that?
14 for 31.
Yeah, not too bad, right?
they
Hey, for
played with him.
somebody,
Almost like half. That's not too
Did
bad.
enough for them for
Yeah.
Boston to stop fouling them.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
know.
he
I
had to
think it
get
was
it right.
one game he hit six or
6
like
in a
6
row. Yeah,
more.
in
Hmm
game 5.
Mm-hmm.
One game and 2 in the next game.
Mm-hmm.
6 in a
Yeah.
row.
Yeah, I just was taken aback by their performance. I just was,
Yeah.
yeah, and then finally McBride woke up. He finally woke up
Yes.
because he was even down during the Detroit series.
Yeah.
He shot almost 50% this series. Go over 50%, yeah. He was 17 for 33.
Mm.
50% from 3-point land, that's what we needed him for.
That's it.
I mean, if he's going to rely upon them, they got to produce in that way. So I'm happy for them. Wow, it just was unbelievable, unbelievable.
I think I was in awe on that last game when they reached that 20. I think there was 21-point lead,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, please
Mm-hmm.
don't mess this up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it
Yeah.
was like 2 minutes in the third, and I think
Mm-hmm.
it was up maybe 27.
Hmm
And then it went into the fourth quarter. I said,
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna hold on. And then when
Mm-hmm.
they hit
Yes.
37-point lead, I said, oh. And then only thing I said was he should have just taken everybody out.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Yeah, he
playing.
could
You
have.
know, I
No, he
mean,
wasn't.
Yeah,
And
you
he
the
could.
risking
energy
the
didn't
injury.
wave. They stayed high energy. It was
Exactly.
Right,
Celtics.
right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And see,
yeah.
they didn't want to do the same thing they did in the next to the last game. I was
Hmm
telling my wife, I said, when teams lose a key player, they make adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
They're not ready for those adjustments.
Yeah.
So that's why they got beat. They got beat by 25, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
up, they were
25. Yeah.
down
It
by
was
25
horrible.
at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah. At one point,
It
I
was
was going to say, let's
painful.
throw in a flag.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
telling you, it was
just throw in the
painful.
towel. Throw in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird. It was a weird feeling. I was like, well, if you're going to beat them by 30, you might as well beat them by 40. So hit that last shot.
No.
Okay. No.
I was being greedy.
Ah.
Don't
Mm,
settle. Don't settle.
Yeah,
mm,
round figure.
Mm-hmm. 38, 30, 40 sounds better than 38.
mm,
I got
Yes.
greedy.
mm.
I can't help it.
Yeah,
Can't help that one. It just was. But it's funny because when you look back at the whole season, how and I'm gonna chalk it up as being just arrogant because how they talked about the Knicks,
Oh,
mm-hmm,
talked about the Garden after every time they beat them this past 2 years, and the part of the first two games was them just taking them for granted. Like
mm-hmm,
we
Exactly.
they were poo-pooing them basically the
Exactly.
whole time. We
mm-hmm.
can shoot, we can do this. They're not gonna do anything. They not this.
Basically the
They not that.
Messi that they were.
hmm hmm
Did you recall what Brown said on the?
hmm
He says like death.
felt like death.
hmm
How
hmm
dare you?
hmm
What did he say?
It's like a death.
It's like a
Oh,
death. Losing to the
Losing
Knicks
to
is
the
like a
Knicks.
death.
losing to the Knicks, really?
Well, he was the
Mm-hmm.
main one I was talking about. This is not the real
Mm-hmm.
Garden. This is not the real
Mm-hmm.
Garden. He was saying that all last year.
Mm.
You know, I don't like him anyway, but either way, so
Thank you.
Right.
Following out in the third, he didn't want to play anyway. He was
yeah,
he
he
was
already
not.
checked out in the third quarter. He checked out in the
Yeah.
third quarter.
Then
Ridiculous,
he could
because
sit down for the fourth and then sit back.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
He
understand
didn't want
why
to play no
they even
more.
kept him in there with 5 fouls in the third
Mm-hmm.
quarter. That was dumb to
Yeah,
me.
even like the sort of play when he bounced the foot off of OG's leg and he was like, what, complaining to the ref. He kicked it.
Uh-huh.
I never saw him complain like that. He never
No.
does a complaint. I was like, you really checked me. When I saw that, he checked out the
Mm-hmm.
game.
Horsefoot did too. He was complaining a
Yeah.
lot too.
Yeah, he was. He was.
So,
Yep.
And the crazy part was Brunson never had a really crazy game.
Yep.
No.
mm,
Everybody else, they played as a
hmm
team.
they
hmm
did. They played as a team. I was very proud.
But
Yeah.
Brunson he was sitting down like I think it was the first or second quarter.
A lot. So and
Mm-hmm.
because McBride was playing. McBride was
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
playing
And
well.
Yeah,
McBride was
bench
playing, but
for a
that's right. He
while.
was playing well.
Didn't
They
rest.
can rest him for a certain bit, and they was effective on the court.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even Cat was aggressive. He was a
Hmm.
different somebody
Mm-hmm.
on that court. I mean, he was really in that paint and just going for it and moving guys out the way. And I was going, oh,
Mm-hmm.
look at Cat.
But he was
Mm-hmm.
doing it the way so as not to pick up offensive fouls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He does use that
Mm-hmm.
arm
Mm-hmm.
to hook and push guys off, but
Mm-hmm.
he played it within his game.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Even Hart after he got hit in the eye, I was like, I seen he got a little upset. I said, "But that's it."
It woke him up.
Oh, he did.
He said, "Oh,
He
you
was on
messed up my
fire after
eye.
that.
This is the eye I used to sign checks for my wine."
Right? Sign Trevor's bottle.
You know? Oh, yeah.
Only real OG Knicks.
That's it.
He
In
know OG
black
Nick
and blue.
till he make it to the finals. That's about it.
But did you
Mm.
hear me when OG grabbed his hamstring? I was like,
Mhm.
oh, not
What was that?
again.
Was that the what game was that? First,
I
second
think that
game?
was like the fourth
Was it
Fourth?
the you
game, something
fourth?
like
Was it
that.
fourth?
Mm-hmm.
It was one of
Yeah.
the early ones.
I said, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Like not again. We need
Mm-mm.
Well,
everyone
Mm,
healthy.
he grabbed
everyone.
that hamstring. I'm like, oh,
Everybody
Mm.
got to be healthy for this one.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I did not want to see them in any particular way
Hmm.
looking coming out of this damaged.
yeah.
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 Yeah, it was a really good series. You know, they they had a stick to itiveness about
Hmm.
them throughout the whole series. They didn't crumble.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed in how they came out in Game 5. Yes,
Mm.
but they was able to corral themselves and get themselves ready mentally for Game 6. So, and they showed it when they came out. I was like,
Yeah.
They did
because
that.
even in the beginning of the game because the in Game 6 nobody was scoring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For
So
like the
the
first
Both
6 minutes
sides,
of the
both
game,
sides.
yeah,
Yeah, it
for
was
the
back
six
and
six
forth.
minutes of the game,
Nobody.
nobody was scoring. I'm like, this
Hmm.
is
yeah.
weird. I'm like, and it was defense, yeah, but it was like they was missing shots and not even just turning the
Yeah.
ball over. It was just like they were stiff or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But once it clicked, it clicked.
Mm-mm. Did it? Mm.
I like that. So I'm not gonna fuss about that. So it's like you know where do we like it's like unknown territory right now. I don't even know how to feel.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, can I talk about the Eastern Conference
Hmm.
Finals? Is this something I should be feeling?
What? Oof.
should I even think there's a possibility for us to get
Hmm.
back? Because in
You
the
see,
'90s, it
Crystal.
was a regular thing in the
That's right.
'90s.
Mm-hmm. I missed the opportunity a couple times in the '90s.
yeah.
Telling you.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see. Oh,
It's crazy.
I
I
don't
was
know.
like,
This team,
how
this
I think
how am I?
everybody was walking around in the street with a smile, like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
"How
Mm-hmm.
you doing? How
Mm-hmm.
you doing?"
people wearing their Knicks
Mm-hmm.
outfits, and I was like,
Okay.
hey, they probably sold a lot this
I
week.
Mm-hmm.
think. And if you didn't get your stuff already,
Mm-hmm.
this stuff,
you might as well forget it.
I got this
Mm-hmm.
yesterday.
It's gonna go up
Yeah,
high.
man.
Go up high.
Now, I don't know if it's Tibbs, hopefully it's Tibbs. Because what's different from this Nick team is that they play more with their head. So even if they get out of control, they get in
Mm-hmm.
control really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the past, they've lost championships because of dumbness. They start fighting, and
Yeah.
get
Mm-hmm.
ejected or like
Yeah.
play the
Well,
game.
they played on the edge anyway. That's what the
Yeah,
emotions were always not in control at that point. And
exactly.
I hated the fact that Charles Oakley keeps talking about we weren't a smart team. No, y'all weren't a smart team because y'all kept playing with emotions.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Y'all playing that Rowley style, which is he brought y'all to that edge to fight every single time, not think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not talking about them. Even though I got my jerseys, I still got my Oak jersey, still got my Patrick jersey,
Yeah.
still got my Allen Houston jersey.
And what's that? Patrick came in the garden the other day. He had a certain kind of a swag on him.
Yes,
He looks
yes,
slimmer, doesn't he? He looks
he
slimmer too.
does. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, good. You don't need to be
Mm-hmm.
looking like that. I'm hate the way how
Mm-hmm.
Bernard King
Telling you.
looks.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mhm.
Bernard. Ugh,
but the support was unbelievable.
Mhm.
Like they
massive,
won
right?
for them. It was massive support. This,
It was
Yeah,
like
And,
because
the Knicks all over again. What's that?
yeah,
The '90s.
hmm
mhm. And that's the difference about like other teams. We don't have that level of success or that to be boasty like that, and yet we still are that way.
come out.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We still, because that's
Win,
the
lose,
love.
or draw, we there.
Hmm. But we still have that.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, we still gonna be New York, New York.
Yeah. Mm,
Stand up. Wow,
mm,
it just unbelievable.
mm.
Mm-mm.
And it's funny in my like when before the season started, when they put this team together, I'm like, I was, I remember I showed you my my little salary cap thing and thing that I was
Yes.
putting
Mhm.
together. Now,
hmm
as I was going through it back in the beginning of the season, I was like, I said they got to win the championship with this team within the next 2 years, because the teams
Mm.
that are coming behind them, they're gonna be a beast in 2 years, and it's sped up because them teams are beasts now. That this the
Yeah.
Detroit team
Already.
is serious. You know, and the I didn't expect Indiana to be still this good. You know,
Yeah.
I
Indiana's
expect the level of
better.
drop off.
They're
They
better.
yeah, I would say they better than last year because they had the experience. They had a little more
Yep,
confidence in themselves.
yep,
Mm-hmm.
I never feared the Cavs, but I was just Boston. You know,
yeah,
but they got to be able to. They got to do it. They got to do
I
it.
think they can do it. I mean, just seeing what they pulverized the
Mm.
Boston.
Come on.
I really can see the momentum right now. They have home court. I just see it. I can see it. It
And I
might
see
go
they
to a game
focus.
seven. I don't. I
hmm
maybe not, but I can just see them pulling this out. I really can. It's not
And,
gonna
and when you
surprise
say
me.
with Brunson, they couldn't even get him to smile. I think he's so focused.
Oh, he's
Hmm.
Like,
focused.
okay, like you're saying, where's the excitement? Everyone was more excited than the whole
yeah,
team because
Yeah,
they're focused on that next game.
yeah. He
The
did
Hmm.
show
next
a
is
little.
like it's not over. Yeah, he was like
Yeah,
trying
Hmm.
to keep a straight face. Like,
yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
He showed a little emotion, like
yeah,
little,
His
like he was
teammates were
tearful.
fooling around with him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that about Brunson because I don't like it when they celebrate like they won the game just because they hit a 3 point
hmm
and it's like the first quarter.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that bothers me.
Hmm.
hmm
Just stay in the game, keep your
Yeah.
head focused. At the end of
Hmm.
the game, now you can celebrate.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. And that they did.
Yeah.
Mm,
Hmm.
mm.
Yeah,
Streets in
man.
New York will never be the same.
If they win this chip, I'm telling you right now, I am down there. I'm taking time off of work and will be down there
For the parade.
for the parade. I will be down there. I was there for Yankees for one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I did it
I,
for Yankees when I was working on Broadway. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
Did it
not.
for
I
Yankees.
left. My manager told me get out, go to this parade. I didn't have to take time off from work. He just told me to get out of here. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
Knows you well.
But this one, I will be taking time off of work, going down there for the parade
Ooh.
if it happens. Woof.
They might have
Uh,
to close the schools.
mm-hmm.
Close them. Mm.
There's nobody coming in.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm,
I don't want to talk about it too much. But I'm just like,
that's right.
if it happens, I'm already. It's on. It's recorded.
It's on.
but but this
Yeah.
Pacers series is going to be something serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, Crystal, I have no inkling as to how many games or what's going to happen because this is going to be a battle. I
Hmm.
think both teams are going to be. I mean, there's one game difference
Yeah.
in the regular season. They both played this season hard, so they're equally matched for what they do.
Mm.
That's an up and down team. We are a control team. Whose forces is going to be the strongest? That's what I see it as. So we'll see.
I think it's a redemption. The Knicks want to redeem themselves from last year.
Yep.
And they
It's a
will do
different.
it.
It's a different team though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different team from last year. You know, Mitch wasn't there last year. Neither was
Mm.
OG. You know, Randall wasn't there. You know, um, they had to use what's his name from who was on Miami this year. Um, What's his name?
Oh,
Oh, man.
What's his name?
What positions he play?
they put him in for 2 minutes at a time.
What's his Burks? Burks. Alex Burks.
Oh,
Oh, I
Bird.
forgot about
They had
him.
to use Burks,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
forgot about him.
for a good portion of the game last year. You know,
And
Yeah, he
and
did
this
a
is
did his thing. Yeah.
and
this is
sadly,
a
Burks was doing
their seven
good.
man rotation is prepped
Yeah.
for what they want to do. So it's they have to pull it through with this 7 man rotation. If I see them going 8,
It'll be
I don't know.
Payne. Well, no, Payne.
It
It
would
already
probably be
has
Payne.
Payne,
Big, oddly enough, but Precious and
Anobi.
Precious did play well against
I
them
Oh
mean,
yeah,
last
Precious
year.
yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Tua.
Precious
Who would
did
be
play
the
well
third
against them
person?
last year.
Who
Yep.
would be the third person?
So if Precious does get minutes, it probably will be strategic. It won't
Mm,
be, he'll be in the rotation every single game. And I
Mm-hmm.
think the same thing for Payne.
mm-hmm,
But Precious did play well last year against them.
mm,
They
You know,
play Shamit. What's it? Shamit?
mm-hmm.
he didn't play this. He didn't play in this series.
No, he didn't.
And
He
then
got like
play in the series.
he got spot minutes.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Hmm
it.
Literally minutes.
hmm Yeah, it wasn't anything significant. Because the
Mm,
only one that had double
Yeah,
digits was, well, I said Payne. He
mm,
had 30 minutes in the whole
yeah,
series.
mm.
So
yeah, man.
but I can definitely see, this team um when they go up against the Pacers that they will have. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle. Um,
The Pacers, their rotation, they use like
It deep.
at least
they
Mm-hmm.
use all 10 players. You know.
Give people a break.
Mm-hmm. It deep.
So here's the schedule. All right. So game one is Wednesday at the
Mm-hmm.
Garden. Game two is Friday at the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go on the road for 2 games on Sunday and Tuesday. So they on again, off again. So they don't have a day off. I mean, more than one day off after that. Then game five is in the Garden on Thursday. And then game six is on a Saturday. And then game seven is on. So basically, it's every other day they play a game. So it's
What's
unlike this past series where they would have a 2 day off in a scenario. They don't have any situation where they have more than one day off.
mm,
So interesting, interesting.
mm.
And it's going to be on TNT, which I can't stand those guys because they always talk
Mm,
about the Knicks.
yeah,
because what?
I'm about sick of that. This very disrespectful talk.
Oh,
They give a compliment and then
Is
they get
Reggie on
engaged.
TNT?
Who?
Is Reggie on
Oh,
TNT?
yeah, he is.
Mm. You know he's gonna have something
It's
to
not like ESPN do anything better. They talk bad
Yeah.
about him too. So even Mike Breen be talking a little slick talk too.
Mm-hmm.
He talk his little slick ball. Oh, I gotta play neutral. No, you ain't gotta do nothing.
mm, mm. We need Monica McNutt.
Oh,
Oh man, she was
they be
she
going
was so
crazy.
excited, man.
I love watching them
She could, yeah,
on the IG
Yeah.
post when they be
She's like,
put.
oh, yeah, she
yeah.
go.
She couldn't even talk.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah,
mm,
man.
mm. No, but we'll see. So, what do you think? What do you think the outcome? How many games?
Knicks.
How many games?
Nixon
Knicks.
six. Nixon
Knicks
six.
and
Nixon
six. Okay,
six. Nixon six.
Knicks.
I can do that.
Knicks.
Knicks in
I
the
can see
end.
that.
Knicks.
Knicks in the end.
Yeah,
That's all
Oh,
that
the
matters to
Nixon in the
me.
end. I like that
Regardless,
too.
regardless of
That's
what
all that
you know,
matters. When this is all over,
yeah.
Knicks.
Mm,
smoke
mm.
clears.
It's
Knicks.
gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It ain't
Yeah,
gonna be easy,
it's gonna be a battle.
but Knicks.
I like that. I like that.
Here's the crazy part. We're gonna be on vacation during these games. Oh
Oh,
goodness.
oh, oh.
You know, the last time we was away, they had this soccer tournament, and people were lined up into this room, and they were watching it. Soccer
Mm-hmm.
was on all day. We gonna
Mm-hmm.
find a room.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna find them.
If it's orange, they better have some Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi will be able to tap. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow,
I
we
seen
got.
the scores on WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Crazy.
days that you're away
This whole trip. This
Mm,
from Friday to
during the
Friday.
during the
mm,
series? Okay.
That
mm.
whole yeah, man.
So, it's we're gonna be here for game one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We leave for game two, and we don't come back till after game five.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
Mm,
Mm.
So either way, Knicks. That's all I had to say.
yes, Nixon in, like
Nice.
Nixon in, Nixon in.
All right. Well, let's hit our mark. We keeping it
Mhm.
straight, keeping it live. Harlem to MSG, y'all. See ya.
Yes.